All right, faggots, this is the Week 8 breakdown coming to you on an early Monday night. We figured none of the games really are close enough this week to be swung by a stat change. Maybe some of them, but I doubt it's going to happen. Brad is the only one who's gotten fucked twice so far this year on that. So we're going to do it up on Monday night. We're going to dive right into it. So after 8 weeks, going into the scoring of this last week, some of the key matchups. We're not even key, just maybe some of the close matchups this week. Yeah. Between starting first with Dennis and myself. Dennis going at 6-1, and me and my fucking losing shit ass team at 3-4. I finally managed to squeak out a win. I say that pretty confidently. I don't think stat changes are going to fuck me in the goat ass. No. It was a very close one. Dan Bailey, my lead scorer. Thanks, James, for dropping him. He was a sweet pickup for me. 2 50-yarders and a 40. Thanks, Dan Bailey. You potentially won me that game. RG3 doing a shit fucking ton of negative points. Thank you, you stupid dickhole.
And Dennis, I tried to help you. I told Derek earlier the week to start RG3.
I was going to start Kaepernick and 60 points sitting on my bench. Thanks,
I tried RG3. Dennis.
Let all the trade bullshit be quelled because RG3 is a faggot face. With 2 bum knees now. Jesus. Hamburglers against Pittsburgh Steelers. The biggest upset
of the
in
year.
all time.
Of the
Let
year.
it be known, the 2-5 beat the 7-0. Eric Hopkins, you shitty ass shit face. Down you go.
It just goes to show you when you rely literally on one member of your team to win. You rely on one person to have a historic season, and as soon as they start having average numbers, what happens?
You lose.
You start losing.
You go to 7-1. That's what happens. Too bad for you. You're still probably going to the playoffs, you faggot. And then the last, I think, close matchup this week was between James and Max.
Yeah.
And it was a 5-2 versus a 4-3. It was going to look to be a pretty tight one, but Drew Brees, I think, fucking clutched it. Brought it through for James. James, even with his injury-prone team. And a lot of his players on fucking just injury and just his team's been massacred, but he pulled it through on a shitty scoring week at 217.
Yeah. And did Gronk help Max?
Did Gronk help you, Max? Did he?
All the rest.
Did he?
All the rest of the
no,
the
he
league
didn't.
who
you started
I'm
him
sure
in
got
front of Jordan Cameron. You're established tight end for like 6 weeks, and you decided to put your points in Gronk. Good job. You lost that game.
So here's one to the rest of the league for not taking that Gronk trade. Good us.
Doing a lot of good for Max. That being said, the standings are not quite final yet, but I'm going to just really dive right into it. There's not going to be an unbeaten team anymore after this week.
Nope.
Pittsburgh Steelers is going to fall to 6-1 or 7-1. I apologize. We're going to have 3 teams. It looks like at 6-2. We're going to have Dennis, Kit, and James at 6-2. We're going to have a couple teams at 4-4. Myself and Max. And fuck, who else? Art or
and Reeve. And Reeve.
Not Art.
No. Art Richardson is 4-4. Art.
The 3 of us at 4-4, and then a handful of people at 3-5, and so on and so forth.
And
the
you
Drags.
have your Brads, your Williams, and your
obviously, of course, the countdown going down. We have after week 8, we have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 5 weeks left, guys, for you to really pull it together and get into the playoffs. So there's still a lot of time left to play. I really feel like. I think it could still be. There's not going to be any upsets. I don't think anything's really decided yet.
There's a lot of room in the middle for to inch out some seeds. There's still a lot of time.
That being said, before the projections and lineups are really set, Dockery's going to do a very swift,
a very prophetic
week 9.
All right, we have Derek versus Art. I'm going to take Derek. I think Art is going to get a victory this season. I do not think it will be against Derek, though secretly I hope it will be.
As much as he would hope so.
As much as I would hope so.
Art would get the victory against him, but that didn't happen.
We have a very interesting matchup of Hopkins versus Dennis Key. Hopkins, who just dropped one, the auto-drafting phenomenon. Dennis Key. I am actually... just farted. I'm actually going to take Dennis. I'm going to take Dennis. I think Hopkins is going to drop another one.
I think Hopkins is going to shit a brick for like 3 weeks.
I think
And
he
I'm
is.
going to ride that train when I play him in 2 weeks.
I think he is.
I like Dennis in this one.
I'm going to take Hopkins. Or you're correct. Yeah, I'm going to take Dennis as well. Against Reeve and Dockery. This is the first time and probably the only time you will hear me say this. I'm going to take Reeve. I'm going to bet against myself. Reeve has put up some great numbers over the past couple weeks. I think he's had 2 or 3 games over 300. I have, meanwhile, gone on a 4-game decreasing skid. I don't think it's going to get better. I think I'm going to drop this one.
This is his pick 6 reputation on the line.
I'm going to drop one.
Anybody else.
I'm going to drop one. We have Max versus Brad. I'm going to take Max. Even after Brad's miraculous win, he's still a terrible team. I'm going to take Max. We have William and Paul. William, I'm just, I've bet on you a couple times this season, and you're just terrible. You're terrible. You're barely better than Art. I'm going to take Paul. And then we have John and James. John has put up a couple of good games. Over the past
He's going to be 3 straight after this week.
3 straights, and you know what? I think I'm going to ride him to victory. I think he's going to go 4 straight. I think he's going to pull up an upset over James.
Like you picked him before. Ride him to victory.
I'm going to ride him to victory like a beautiful, glorious stallion.
Mm-hmm.
Like a stallion.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there you go. There's Kit's Pick 6. This will be Week 8 wrapping up. Like I said, 5 more weeks. We got some key matchups coming up, I think, over the next few weeks. It'll be especially delicious coming into these last couple weeks.
Game to watch. Don't forget my last segment.
Oh,
Trying to rush me out the door?
You have too many segments.
All right, games to watch. Obviously, number 1 game to watch is going to be Pittsburgh's Feelers against Keys Crushers. That's number 1 and 2 seed going together. Going to have a lot of implications for those above 500 this season. We have probably the next game to watch is going to be John and James. That has a lot of implications for those in the upper echelons of the league. Somebody at right now 6-2 dropping down to 6-3 is going to mean something. And then our last game,
for the people that are hoping for a 1 and 2 seed. For the rest of us, we don't give 2 shits.
That's going to have a lot to do with the people trying to climb into 3 and 4 seeds. Absolutely, it's going to have a lot to do.
All right.
And then last, on the same token, because of the same record, myself and Reeve is going to mean a lot for the people trying to climb into those 3, 4, 5, 6 seeds. So those are the games to watch.
Right. And everybody's going to lose next week, except for myself. So that's going to be that. And Week 9 is going to be especially shitty for me. So if anybody feels like poking fun at my team, my shitty team on their especially shitty bye week, by all means. But I'm playing Art, so who cares? I'm going to win.
It's a gimme.
It's a gimme.
It's a gimme. I think I will make this prediction right now. Last prediction. Art will be winless.
For the entire season, huh?
For the entire season. I'm willing to bet money on it.
All right, we'll get into that money next week.
All
right, thanks, guys, for playing. That's your Week 8 breakdown. We'll see you guys all next week.